still think that veganism is a super valid choice if it works for you. It is true that in the 2010s, kind of in that era, a lot of girls like my age, we were turning to veganism as another way to put a label on our diets and to restrict certain foods in a way that was socially acceptable. At least that's the way I did it. I understand that some people are vegan for the planet and for the animals, and I totally respect that, and that's amazing. I'm more so talking about the type of vegan that doesn't do it so much for the animals, but just because they think it's a diet that'll allow them to just restrict.
She talks about how she then decides to eat meat and dairy and fish without any other nutritional explanation.
There is a freedom in having choices. I have felt such joy going to a restaurant, and just realizing that the whole world is open to me.
And just sort of like, I wanted to eat all of the foods, and I guess that's what intuitive eating is. You just get to do whatever you want.
Intuitive eating is a quote-unquote evidence-based mind-body health approach comprised of 10 principles, and it was created and published by two dietitians, Evelyn Tribble and Elise Reich, in 1995. The 10 principles are the following: reject the diet mentality, honor your hunger, make peace with food, challenge the food police, respect your fullness, discover the satisfaction factor, honor your feelings without using food, respect your body, exercise, and honor your health with gentle nutrition. Intuitive eating is not a diet or food plan, period. There's no pass or fail. Therefore, there is no quote-unquote blowing it. Rather, it's a journey.
And going through the journey. And his journey had a lot to do with my journey, because obviously
This is just my own personal journey.
This is just a journey.
I'm just sharing my journey.
A very interesting journey.
So I feel like health is a journey.
And that is where the problem of intuitive eating starts. Once upon a time, it may have had good intentions, but like many things that make the rounds on the internet and social media, it has evolved into something it just really isn't. It's become a trend. What was once supposed to be an anti-diet rejection of mainstream norms is now becoming the norm. In many ways, it's kind of like being a hipster. Every other person is doing it, but you continue acting like you were just oh so original, enlightened, and on some special little journey. Another problem is that intuitive eating is aligned with health at every size, because the pursuit of intentional weight loss is a failed paradigm, which creates health problems, including weight stigma, weight cycling, and eating disorder. However, for those of us really paying attention here, we know this to be untrue. While it may have helped tackle the issue of weight stigma, it has done zero for actually achieving any physical result. In fact, it has achieved quite the opposite.
And it's different. I understand the argument where people are eating excess. People eating 5 cheeseburgers a week or eating 20 stacks of bacon every day. Yeah, that's an excess. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I am confused. I am sick of not feeling good. No. And it's different. I understand the argument where people are eating excess. People eating 5 cheeseburgers a week or eating 20 stacks of bacon every day. Yeah, that's an excess. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I can compare and contrast the way my body felt when I was bigger and when I'm smaller, as well as tell you what happened to me. Because a lot of the people in this particular movement are younger. They range from, teenagers to people in their early 30s, mostly, the most vocal ones. And they haven't gotten to the age yet where this philosophy of health at any size could catch up with them. And so that's just the story I have for you today, is how that philosophy did encourage me to put off things I probably should have done about my weight, and to put off feeling like I was unhealthy, because it gave me a very, very good excuse. There is definitely a push in society to meet a certain ideal. And I am absolutely 100% not saying that I am a nutrition expert, a mental health expert, or that you should not love yourself the way that you are, because I feel everybody should love themselves. There are things to love about yourself, but I don't feel like you should love yourself to death. And I feel like that's what I almost did.
The last issue that I think is really powerful is making peace with food. But let's be honest. Are you really making peace with food or just avoiding a very uncomfortable truth?
Everyone is on their own journey, but to give the message across that just because you've been orthorexic in the past, that's a blanket excuse for never going vegan.
We all look at roadkill with disgust. If we were truly intuitive eating, we would see this as a tasty, free meal. Even more so, images of slaughterhouses horrify us. Not only is this cruel to animals, but for those who are paid to do the quote-unquote dirty work, suffer severe consequences. This is really where we start to see how messed up the meat industry is and how broad the impacts are on society. It will come as no surprise that the consequences of such emotional dissonance, including domestic violence, social withdrawal, drug and alcohol abuse, and severe anxiety, as slaughterhouse workers are increasingly being treated for post-traumatic stress disorder. Researchers are finally starting to systematically explore the results of killing sentient animals for a living. Yale Global Health Review explains the type of PTSD that slaughterhouse workers suffer from, a type of post-traumatic stress disorder called perpetuation-induced traumatic stress, otherwise known as PITS. Unlike many forms of traumatic stress disorders in which sufferers have been victims in traumatic situation, sufferers of PITS are the casual participant in a traumatic situation. In other words, they are the direct reason for another being's trauma. Living with the knowledge of their actions causes symptoms similar to those of individuals who are recipients of trauma, substance abuse, anxiety issues, depression, and disassociation from reality.
I'm more so talking about the type of vegan that doesn't do it so much for the animals, but just because they think it's a diet that'll allow them to just restrict.
Oh, sorry. The only type of vegan is the vegan that does it for the animals. This is an eating disorder. This is sad, yet it is highly manipulative. Intuitive eating has ultimately become a get-out-of-jail-free card, especially for those who quit being vegan. And dare I say that this even walks into the realm of toxic positivity, which is essentially the state of the overgeneralization of a happy, optimistic state that results in the denial. Me. It's very self-absorbed, no? Putting on a carefree face might fool some people, but it isn't fooling me in the very least. The denial isn't just a river in Egypt. Denying the harsh realities of how food ends up on your plate isn't making peace with food. It's pure avoidance. Ignorance is bliss, and everyone loves to hear good things about their bad habits.
I had to get all the food into chronometer, had to design it for her. It took me a long time, okay? And he has the gall to say that I don't care about her. And it was just bullying. And, people like him, they're not like me and they really, really care. I think I'm showing that I actually really, really care. Okay, that's why I've been making videos a very long time. That's why I've been telling people the truth, putting myself into uncomfortable situations, where people want to basically kill me, because I know the truth is what we need to give to people. They need to hear it, especially those who are on death's door. Okay, they need to hear it, or else, no one's going to tell them. People are just like, there, it's okay, do your best.
Despite what you may think about vegans, we are not the bad guys. It is very much the expression of don't shoot the messenger. Messengers aren't responsible for the truth being delivered. You are responsible for your own actions. Don't get angry at the messenger. Get angry at being lied to. then do something about it. Stop pulling out the victim card and take accountability. Overall, intuitive eating is just another comfortable lie that people adopt into their lives to avoid unpleasant realities. Wake up and smell the bullshit.